6'8" from Missouri, number 5, Damari Carroll. At guard, 6'7" from Creighton, number 26, Kyle Korver. At guard, 6'2" from Wake Forest, number 0, Jeff Teague. And at center, 6'10" from Florida, number 15, Al Horford. Boss. And forward from Louisiana Tech, number 4, Paul Millsap. The head coach of your home team is Mike Budenholzer.
We are in Atlanta, Georgia, the home nest for the Hawks. It's an interconference matchup right here. This is 2K Sports bringing you the NBA. I'm Kevin Harlan calling the action with my broadcast partners Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. And it's the Hawks to start out. Now a look at Dallas's starting lineup. Monte is the 2 with Parsons playing the small forward. Dirk and Chandler up front. And it's Nelson in at the point guard. Now here's Teague. They get a hand on it. Stolen by Ellis. Oh, and here we go. Ellis has got it. The fast break chance. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Now Teague.
It's interesting that the Mavs almost exclusively built through free agency. Now, they make draft picks, but they always seem to have a hand in free agency come July.
Here's Millsap. He feeds it to Teague. Shot clock at 6. The Hawks need to get off a shot here. Chandler with the steal. Ellis kicks to Nelson. Back to Ellis. Dallas moving the ball around. Chandler with the screen on Teague. Now the dish to Parsons. Puts it up from 12. Rebound Atlanta. Well, Clark, you look back at some of the big names they were rumored to be in on, like Darren Williams and Dwight Howard. Those two names come to mind.
And they missed out on them, but they've always been very good about remaining flexible when they need to be with the salary cap.
Now here's Teague. Good.
Not a good way to get things started here.
Steve, always nice to get the first points up on the board. At least I felt that way.
Teague against Nelson. Nowitzki a screen. Ellis goes in. Nobody near Parsons. Yes, and it's Ellis picking up the assist.
Nice pass. That one was right on target.
Let's send it out to Doris Burke, who caught up with head coach Rick Carlisle. Doris?
He talked about the impact that Al Horford can have on a game and how they'll have their work cut out for them dealing with him. He said Horford's just a complete ball player. He does all the things you want from a big man. He can shoot, handle, and pass. He's always a tough matchup, but it starts with matching his energy level. Kevin will see if they have what it takes.
Thank you, Doris.
Well, that was like a warm-up shot there, a warm-up jumper. No problem converting that one.
If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Korver dishes to Carroll. Pass to Korver. Here's Teague. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Teague's got his second bucket. Nelson, the pass to Ellis. Chandler with a screen for Ellis. Parsons on the wing. Nowitzki inside, working on Horford. So they take the lead.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
The Hawks trailing. Outside Teague, and there's the feed to Korver. Back to Teague. Teague left side. Horford with the screen on Nelson. Teague can't hit.
Well, those chances are almost always 2 points for him. I guess the defense did what it had to do to bother him.
Nelson kicks to Ellis. Nelson against Teague. The drive by Ellis. Rebounded by the Hawks. Outside Teague. Pass to Carroll. Back to Teague. He dishes it to Korver. He kicks to Carroll. The pass to Korver. Tyson Chandler pulls it in. The Mavericks leading. Nelson outside. Ellis with the screen for Nelson. Nowitzki outside, and it's Ellis penetrating. Out to Chandler. Dallas needs to get off a shot. Nobody near Parsons. Another three for Dallas.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
Well, we've all seen what Tyson Chandler can accomplish when healthy, and that is some kind of force.
Yeah, you know, maybe the best stretch of his career was at the start of the decade, a 2011 title with the Mavericks. 2012, he got a gold medal in London and was the Defensive Player of the Year in the league. And in 2013, an All-Star. I mean, that's a pretty strong three-season run.
Here is Nelson after the made shot from Jeff Teague. Now here's Ellis. Tight defense on him, and he gets it to go. Teague with the ball. 6 points for him. Kicks it to Korver. Horford with the screen on Ellis. Back to Teague. Six on the shot clock. Teardrop shot. That is good. Teague's got 8 points. The Mavericks have gone 5 of 8 from the field, shooting over 62%. Nowitzki sets a screen for Nelson. Shot clock at 6. Ellis outside. Goes up to the stripe. Again, the Mavericks score.
He's having quite the quarter here, guys. I mean, shooting the ball extremely well.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks.
Monte Ellis at 6'3" is certainly a gifted scorer. He played most of his career minutes at the shooting guard position. He gives up some size there, however, and that's been a challenge for him at the defensive end.
Here's Teague. 8 points for him. Teague left side. Dishes to Korver. Into Millsap. Mavericks with the rebound. Chandler's got his 3rd rebound tonight. And some have felt as a scoring combo guard, Ellis would be best as a 6th man. Steve, coming off the bench, what do you think?
I agree. You know, as talented as he is, you know, he's really kind of a combo guard who's a nightmare matchup for a lot of players. But he's not a true point, and he doesn't have that size that you want at the 2-guard spot. So to me, the 6th man makes perfect sense.
And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. It goes on Chandler Parsons.
Al Horford saw last season come to an end after completely tearing his right pectoral muscle. This only 2 years after a similar injury to his left pectoral. And such a terrific player, you certainly hope he can find a way to stay healthy.
And Horford, the Hawks' longest tenured player, Clark, probably their best player when you take a look at their entire roster. They're a different team with him healthy.
No denying that, Kevin. And with the new front office revamping the roster, going for more financial flexibility, he's the talent they've chosen to build the team around.
That one is no good.
You know, the Hawks haven't been an elite team, but they do have the longest active playoff streak in the East. They've been to 7 straight postseasons, and while they haven't advanced very far, I still think there's something to be said for getting to the postseason 7 years in a row.
6 to shoot. Parsons for 3. Another 3 for Dallas.
The defense sagged off, and, you know, he did not hesitate to rise up and bury that 3.
Outside Teague. Ellis on the double team. Carroll kicks to Teague. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Here's Korver. Millsap dishes to Horford. Korver passes to Carroll. Feeds it to Korver. Outside Teague. Passes it to Carroll. To the wing right side. Here's Millsap. Nowitzki with the steal. Nelson with it. Picked up by Teague. Parsons right side. Back to Nelson. He feeds it to Ellis. Fires at the elbow. Count the bucket. And it's a 9-point Dallas lead. The Hawks have gone 5 of 9 from the field here in the first. Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over.
Well, despite his 6'3" height, Monte Ellis is at his best operating from the mid-range in. He's a superb athlete. He can slice into the defense and finishes with an outstanding touch around the rim.
And it's a completely new group for Atlanta. A different look for Dallas. Scott kicks to Ontic. The dish now to Cephalosha. Pass to Schroeder. There's the feed to Bazemore. Out to the right wing. 6 to shoot. Cephalosha's shot is good. And you talk to some coaches around the NBA, they say that Monte Ellis is the closest thing in the league right now to an Allen Iverson.
I would not disagree with that comparison, Kevin. I mean, you look at the quickness, the agility, the ability to score amidst the tall timber is really unique at his ability to finish against taller players, and you love the fearlessness. That's what really was the hallmark of Allen Iverson, and I see some of that in Ellis, too.
Dallas leading by 8. Outside, Felton. Harris dishes to Felton. And Aminu kicks to Harris. Harris, right side. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Atlanta's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Here's Schroeder. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. In the corner, Cephalosha with it. Here's Ontic. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2.
Giving them an opportunity at second chance points with some hard work on the glass there.
Now here is Harris. Outside, Felton. Wright sets a screen for Felton. Right wing. Wright, the pass to Felton. Takes a shot at the elbow, and it's Dallas with another.
And the story of this game in the early stages is just how well they've been shooting the ball.
Steve, their percentage from the floor is really impressive up to this point.
Now, here's Scott. Schroeder dishes to Cephalosha. Here's Bazemore. He's covered by Felton, and Bazemore kicks to Cephalosha. Here's Schroeder. Sinks the triple. Schroeder's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Dallas leading by 5. Wright sets a screen for Harris. Out to the right wing. Now Felton. Pass to Aminu. Back to Felton. Upside Felton. Again, the Mavericks score.
Risky shot there. Size-wise, I mean, he easily comes out on the short end of the stick, so to speak.
With the nice high release, he had no problem getting it off and knocking it down.
Here's Schroeder. He dishes it to Bazemore. Lots of room. Can't get it to go. Now the Mavericks take it the other way. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Felton kicks to Crowder. Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession.
I'll tell you what, wandering aimlessly out of bounds like that might earn him a ticket to the bench.
There's 14 seconds left in the first. There's the pass to Ontic. Here's Bazemore. Tipped away. 3 seconds left, and the layup is good.
Good, strong move, and not much defense there.
And we reached the end of the first quarter. It's Dallas leading by 5. 2K Sports back in a moment here at Phillips Arena in Atlanta. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And what do you think, guys, about Dallas here in this one?
And a good start for this club. I like the way they played together, really moved the ball and did a nice job offensively.
Yeah, excellent ball movement, and it's paid off on the scoreboard, too.
On the floor right now for the Mavericks, Jay Crowder out there with Brandon Wright. Then it's Devin Harris. Then there's Felton. And it's Jefferson in at the small forward position. Atlanta with the ball after the miss from Raymond Felton. Here's Schroeder, and the Hawks getting another basket right there.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
Mavericks leading by 3. Well, the Hawks not just competitive, but also with some financial flexibility. That's been a goal with their front office.
And they put themselves, Kevin, in a good position. And this is a team that I think can make some moves going forward.
Now, here's Felton. And it's Harris off the drive. 5 on the clock. Gets the 14-footer to fall. Harris has got his first bucket in this one. And for the Hawks, they're shooting about 59% from the floor offensively. They've been running without a hitch. Schroeder kicks to Cephalosha. Here's Schroeder. Dishes it to Bazemore. From outside the arc, another 3 for Atlanta.
And the Hawks, in creating their cap space, had to part company with some of their star talent. Joe Johnson, Josh Smith. That's their 2 leading scorers in consecutive seasons. Moving on, and yet they've stayed on the winning track.
The timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way. And it's 6 points for Raymond Felton. And we're a little over a minute and a half into the second quarter of action. Here's Schroeder. He's got 5. He kicks to Bazemore. Cephalosha with it. Jefferson picks him up. Clock at 6. Here's Bazemore. And that one comes up a bit short.
Well, I tell you what, you have to be impressed with the resiliency of this Hawks team. Losing Johnson and Smith, Then Horford goes down to a serious injury, and yet they've battled through and really, in many cases, have exceeded expectations.
And stolen by Felton. Harris, right side. Back to Felton. They set the pick. In the corner, it's Jefferson. Good. And a nice assist from Felton. Now it's a 6-point Maverick lead.
Fantastic pass. He turned that one into a pretty easy basket for his teammate.
Ontic passes to Bazemore. Over to the wing. Cephalosic's it to Bazemore. Here's Schroeder, guarded by Harris. Here's Bazemore. Connects from three-point range. Bazemore's got 6 here in this quarter.
They're getting a bunch of their points outside of the paint. 3 of their last 5 buckets are from three-point range.
But the defense isn't making them earn it. I mean, those shots have just come on easy, open looks.
Now, here's Felton. 6 points for him. Poked away. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Hi, Kevin. Well, it's been a great pairing in Dallas between Monte Ellis and Dirk Nowitzki. As Dirk said, he's been amazing for us. He's so athletic, so fast. I knew he could score with the best of them, but the thing that surprised me is his playmaking off the pick-and-roll game. He makes my game a lot easier. Kevin, they make a great tandem.
Yeah, working together, they're a nightmare to defend, Doris. Thank you. And so it's Dallas with it, following the bucket by the Hawks. On the clock. Here's Harris. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Devin Harris originally signing a 3-year, $9 million contract with the Mavs going into last season, but had to settle for a 1-year minimum contract after the physical revealed he had a dislocated toe.
And Harris missed the first half of last season. But then Clark, when he returned, he played fairly well.
Kevin, I thought he still had that burst of quickness combined with solid playmaking. And he's a nice combo guard to have on your roster.
Both teams will make substitutions. No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2.
Well, Dallas coach Rick Carlisle has demonstrated his versatility throughout his coaching stops in Detroit, Indiana, and Dallas. Not really a system coach. He adapts to the talent that he has on each individual team and goes accordingly.
Teague can't hit. The Mavericks have gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. And here is Harris. Nowitzki for 3. Rebounded by Korver. And Carlisle presiding over a more half-court, station-to-station style of play in Detroit and Indiana. He's embraced a more up-tempo style, it seems, in Dallas.
Yeah, and he's got an offensively gifted team with the Mavs, and he's always been an innovator using zone defenses to hide weaker defenders and keep opponents off balance. And again, another example of how the outstanding coaches don't stand pat. They're always learning, growing, and adjusting to give their teams the best chance to win.
Good thought. Here's Harris after the made shot from Jeff Teague. And it's Harris off the drive. Nowitzki gets a wide open look. And good coming on the assist from Devin Harris. Nowitzki's got his first 2 points. For Atlanta, they've gone 5 of 8 from the floor here in the second quarter. Over 60% shooting. Horford with the screen on Harris. Shot off the pick. And again, it's Atlanta.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any agenda.
It's hard to overstate all the points they've scored on assists today. Beautiful to watch.
Now here's Jefferson. Kicks to Parsons. Back to Jefferson, and that's out of bounds. Dallas will retain possession. And some changes here for the Mavericks. Chandler comes in for Richard Jefferson, and Nelson is subbed in for Harris.
Jameer Nelson.
Clock is at 3. Nelson, no luck.
You know, they haven't been able to open up a big lead, but the rebounds are starting to add up for them. They may be able to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, they've been doing the dirty work inside, Steve, playing a very tough brand of basketball.
Now here's Teague. 10 points for him. He's looking for Horford and finds him. Parsons against Teague. Shot on the wing. It's rebounded by Dallas. Left side, Parsons feeds to Chandler. Back to Parsons. Knocked loose. Millsap with the steal. Teague with the ball. Passes it to Horford. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Horford's got 4 points this quarter.
Gotta love the finger roll up and over the defense.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. Dallas has gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. To the left side wing. Here's Nowitzki. Takes the 12-footer and hits. Nowitzki's got it all tied up now for Dallas.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. And as we get a break here, important for the teams to go over their own strategy. And for the players, this is where you have a chance to get rehydrated with Gatorade. Put out your best effort as the game wears on, guys.
You know, it's amazing when you're playing during a season, if you go through a stretch where you don't hydrate, it can have a major physical toll on you. Your body wears down quicker, you don't recover as fast, and that can really take its toll over the course of an 82-game season.
Here's Horford after Dirk Nowitzki's bucket. Horford kicks to Korver. Millsap's against Parsons. Stolen by Ellis. And it's the Mavericks on the break. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
The defense to start and ignite that play was terrific, and I love the fact that they attacked early in the shot clock.
And now that they have the lead, they might even want to get more aggressive defensively. Really attack, try to come up with more steals.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Rick Carlisle was going over with his team in that last huddle. He told his guys that their offense needed to run through Ellis. Coach is looking for him to take on a lot of responsibility when they've got the ball, to be a leader at the offensive end. They're not going to wait for halftime. They want those adjustments to have an impact right away. Over to you, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. The basket good off the assist from Nelson. And that's 13 points for Ellis.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here. So often what you're able to do on the road defines who you are as a team, and in the Western Conference where you'll finish in that conference. Lucky for Dallas, they were a very strong road team.
Korver in Atlanta again with the bucket. Mavericks have gone 7 of 11 from the field in the second quarter. Nelson dishes to Ellis. Nowitzki a screen. Ellis goes in. No luck. So Atlanta will take it the other way.
Dallas with 23 road wins, as you said, and that seemed to be the difference for them getting back to the playoff picture and driving the Spurs all the way to 7 games in round 1.
Millsap misses.
All the defender had to do there was just stay close to him, and he did.
Nelson, the pass to Parsons. Dallas moving it around. And here's the fast break. Carroll leading the way. Here's Horford, and that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for Atlanta.
Boy, their frenetic defense has really been impressive, putting a lot of pressure on ball handlers and turning them over.
You know, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnovers.
Well, Clark, you look at why the Mavs were so good on the road. They just weren't affected by the change in venue.
Yeah, they were top 3 in shooting as a road team right behind the Heat and the Spurs, unfazed by being away from home.
Here is Korver. 6 to shoot. He feeds it to Millsap. Fires from 14, and Nowitzki with the block. And he recovers it, and they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. Al-Farouq Aminu. He's checked in for Dirk Nowitzki. The Mavericks have gone 8 of 13 in the second quarter, well above the 50% mark from the field. Here's Ellis. Blanketed by the D, he fights to the rim for the layup. And it's a 3-point Maverick lead.
Really aggressive play, taking it to the rim against the big man.
Tell you what, I love that fearless attitude.
T kicks to Millsap. Puts up the baby hook, and that comes off the assist by Jeff T.
It is so hard to contain him. He just seems to get it done however he has to do it.
It's deflected. Here's Aminu. Horford with the rebound. Horford's got his third rebound tonight. T kicks to Corbin. Here's Carroll, and it's thrown down hard with both hands. Guys, no one team gaining control early on.
Give and take, back and forth, the whole way thus far.
Yeah, 6 lead changes already, and as Rasheed Wallace once said, both teams playing hard, my man. Can't get a much better look than that, though.
Sure can't. Not one you'd expect him to miss there.
Horford sets a screen for T. At the top of the key, Horford. The dish to Kira. The 3-ball. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. Chandler's got his 5th rebound in this one. Ellis, the pass to Nelson. Ellis with a screen on Millsap. On the wing, Ellis. 15 points in the game. Dallas again missing.
And the defense got away with a major lapse there.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. T dishes to Korver. T kicks to Millsap. Shot clock at 5. Here's Korver. Tyson Chandler grabs the board. Chandler's got 6 rebounds in the game. Elbow shot. And the quarter ends with some stifling defense right there. And a tight game here as we end the first half. Hawks lead by 1. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Yes, guys, I've got Jameer Nelson. And Jameer, what's going to be the focus of the second half?
Keeping the ball in our hands and making decisions that get us good shots. I think when we do that, we shoot a high percentage, as you can see. The games that in the half that we are bad is when we turn the ball over a lot.
Jameer, thank you. Guys, looking to cut down those turnovers.
Thank you so much, Doris. Great interview as always. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back with the second half of basketball shortly. Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. Monte Ellis has been sensational.
Well, in terms of his points in the first half, I mean, that's pretty much what we've come to expect out of him.
Yeah, that's an open book on all you need to know about what talent he has. I'll bet he adds a lot more to that tally in the second half.
Dallas has gone a very strong 4 for 5 from three-point land in the ball game. Millsap at power forward with Horford at center. On the wings, Korver and Carroll, and it's Teague in at the 1 spot. They're the group for Mike Budenholzer starting the second half. Now here's Parsons. Offensive rebound. Chandler's shot, good. Chandler's got the opening bucket to start the second half for the Mavs. Guys, what a back-and-forth game this has been.
You know what? You're right. Neither side has been able to hang on to the lead for any kind of time at all.
Yeah, you're right, Clark. 7 lead changes already.
Here is Korver. Pass to Carroll. Clock at 6. Teague kicks to Millsap. Lets it go with the 3. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Teague's got his 5th assist in this one. Over in the corner, Ellis. Now Chandler inside. Little over a minute gone here in the second half. Teague, the pass to Millsap. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Well, Paul Millsap has said he doesn't feel undersized anymore with the way the league is going, but more emphasis now on spreading the floor, so Millsap fits in easier. He can always find somebody to guard.
And for Millsap, frankly, his height has really never been an issue. I mean, this is a guy who was a big-time rebounder throughout his days in college. But even though he's only 6'7", that 7-foot wingspan helps, and he's strong enough to hold his own with most forwards in the league.
And so Paul Millsap nails both of them. No question, guys, that Millsap can rebound and defend the power forward position with the best of them.
Yeah, you remember he led the NCAA in rebounding all 3 of his seasons at Louisiana Tech. So this guy has a nose for the ball.
Now, here is Nelson. Nelson, right side, just 5 to shoot. It's Ellis on the wing. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. Ellis has got 17.
And his stroke has been dead on. Inside, outside, wherever. The shot's just falling for him.
Teague dishes to Korver. Back to Teague. The feed to Korver. Right side Teague. Off the screen. It's rebounded by Dallas. Parsons got his 3rd rebound on the night. Nelson outside. Chandler with the screen on Teague. Here's Nowitzki. The basket good off the assist from Nelson. Nelson's got 3 assists now in this one.
Great job of utilizing that screen and finding space to knock down the jumper. Good basketball.
Now here's Teague. 10 points for him. Carroll kicks to Horford. And that one's good. Horford's got 10 points in the game.
Boy, beautiful assist. That's a couple of teammates clearly on the same page.
Pass to Ellis. The 15-footer. Nice jump shot. Good. Ellis has got the game tied up here for the Mavs.
And the D is having problems stopping the mid-range jumper. They're not really closing out on them as much as they should be.
Yeah, look at the numbers. 6 of the last 10 points have come by way of that jump shot, Clark.
Here is Korver. Millsap passes to Carroll. And the Hawks getting another basket right there.
Their second half has started quite well. They've been good on 3 of their first 4 attempts.
To the inside. And the shot is good.
Boy, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip. They've got a battle inside.
Well, this game has been tough, Clark. I mean, they're getting after it. I think we're starting to run a little bit low on energy, possibly.
Atlanta calls timeout. Chandler Parsons signing a 3-year, $46 million contract offer with the Mavericks. This past offseason, Clark, everyone expecting him to get a nice raise, but he's making max-type money.
Sometimes it's a matter of timing, Kevin. The Mavs clearly value him highly, and at the same time, they weaken a division rival, so it's a win-win as far as they're concerned.
Now here is Horford. 10 points for him. Millsap dishes to Carroll. Back to Millsap. And stolen by Parsons. Teague against Nelson. Nowitzki for three. The basket good off the assist from Nelson. And now a three-point Maverick lead. And Parsons still pretty young and with time to improve has the size to play some power forward in certain lineups and a good spot-up three-point shooter, especially from the corners.
Certainly is.
Now here's Millsap. 7 points in the game, and he's able to get it back. And he gets the bucket. Millsap's got 7 now in this quarter. Nelson outside. He dishes it to Nowitzki. The fader. And it's Dallas with another.
And Parsons accurate with his three-point shot, despite it being fairly flat in its trajectory. He's got an excellent shot fake, too, and he'll even flirt with an up and down or a traveling violation to sell you on that shot fake.
Good. The defenders need to talk to each other. The communication lacking there on that three-pointer.
The pass to Nowitzki. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Nowitzki's got 9 points here in the second half. Atlanta's gone 6 of 10 from three-point range, up over 50% for the ball game. Teague kicks to Millsap. Dishes it to Carroll. Feeds it to Korver. 6 to shoot. Misses off the right iron. For Dallas, they've gone 9 of 10 on their attempts in the third quarter. That is 90% from the field. What a roll they're on. Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession. And Atlanta will go for a different look here. Payne, he's checked in for Horford. Mike Scott comes in for Paul Millsap. Thabo Sefolosha has checked in for Damari Carroll. And it's Kent Bazemore in for Kyle Korver. And a new group getting ready for Dallas. White, he's checked in for Chandler. Jay Crowder comes in for Chandler Parsons. Raymond Felton, he's checked in for Monte Ellis. And Harris subbed in for Nelson. Outside Teague. Here's Bazemore. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Bazemore's got 12. Dallas has gone a terrific 5 of 6 from beyond the arc in this game. Harris kicks to Crowder. From 12 feet out. Good as the jump shot falls.
Boy, they are passing the ball very crisply right now.
They sure are. That's 3 straight buckets that have come off of assists.
Harris against Teague. Here's Scott. And the Hawks getting another basket right there. Maverick shooting so well, the offensive execution has been brilliant. 66% from the field. Outside Felton. Another 3 for Dallas.
Well, that was Dirk Nowitzki getting in the way of the defense right there. Well done.
Here's Teague. 10 points for him. He kicks it to Bazemore. And Nowitzki with the block. And it's the Mavericks on the break. Felton leading the charge. Kicks to Harris. Passes it to Crowder. 6 on the shot clock. To the right side. For the 3. And there's Dirk Nowitzki on the assist from Crowder. And it's a 6-point Maverick lead.
A lot of things go into a team being successful. But one key is being efficient offensively. And the Mavericks were one of the more efficient teams in the league because they understood where their best shots came from and usually took those shots.
You know, that putback's about as easy as it's going to get. You have to put a body on someone down there.
Well, no box out. That's the result you get right there.
Now here is Harris. Nowitzki outside. In the corner, it's Felton. The offensive rebound. Right. No good with the layup. The Hawks trail by 4. Here's Bazemore. He's got 12. It's hauled in by Felton. Guys, you would think as they get older, less shots would fall for them. But for the Mavs, it just hasn't been the case. A top offense last year, as you guys were talking about.
Well, they got older, and they seem to get smarter. They added a couple of really nice pieces in the backcourt. And as we know, Rick Carlisle terrific coach putting his players in a position to succeed. So that was an excellent offense last year.
And the shot is good from Nowitzki.
He is just tearing it up this quarter. That lead's not going anywhere while he's this hot.
Atlanta's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. There's the dish to Bazemore. There's the screen. Back to Teague. Right side Teague. From the baseline. Again, the Hawks good for 2.
I'll tell you what, he's enjoyed a very good day shooting the ball so far. He can bring them right back into this.
Dallas calls timeout.
You have to give the Hawks a lot of credit for what they did last season. They knew they were going to lose some players and have to hit the reset button and recalibrate a bit, but they did so quite smoothly.
Al-Farouq Aminu, he's checked in for Dallas. Now here's Wright, looking for his first basket still in this one. He feeds it to Felton. Pass to Aminu. Back to Felton. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Aminu misses. Well, for the Hawks, it's been 2 years of big names like Joe Johnson and Josh Smith leaving. Steve, they still remain competitive.
Well, they always seem to have a backup plan in place for whenever a star player leaves. And really, this has been the plan all along. The foresight to create space and picks and cap rooms. They're trying to build something special here. And, of course, it takes time.
Here's Harris. After the basket by Atlanta. Here's Wright. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Brandon Wright, the former 8th overall pick back in 2007. For his career, Steve, a field goal percentage of around 60%.
Well, he's figured out his niche in the league. He wasn't sure what he was when he arrived, but he's a backup big. He's a diver. He's an offensive rebound guy. He's a lob catcher. So, not a one-on-one scorer, but somebody who can play off of others very effectively.
And Wright, because he's light-weighted, can struggle in matchups with stronger opponents. But he is a shot blocker. His length really helps him in pick-and-roll situations.
Good on the second free throw.
And for Wright, it seems like he'll always be slight of build, but he hasn't been one to chafe over his playing time. He just focuses on playing well in the minutes he earns.
Here's Bazemore. 14 points for him. And there's the feed to Teague. Pass to Payne. Here's Bazemore. He's covered by Felton. Bazemore misses.
And you know why he was open there. They didn't commit too much defense to him, and you can see why. He has trouble making that shot.
Felton sets a screen for Harris. Blocked. And there's a minute 45 left to play in the third. Now Teague. He's got 12. And the shot is good. Teague's got 14. Dallas has gone 3 of 5 with the long ball since entering the second half. And here is Harris. Wright with a screen on Teague. Harris passes to Wright. And it's Aminu in the corner. Using his post move to get the 2 points. Aminu's got his second basket of the game.
And he was one step ahead of the defense when he fired that pass for the assist.
Teague dishes to Payne. Teague's it to Bazemore. The pass to Scott. No luck. And it's Dallas the other way. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Now, here's Aminu. He's covered closely. Dallas moving it around. Clock at 6. Cephalosha with the steal. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Outside Teague. He dishes it to Bazemore. Back to Teague. 5 to shoot. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. Right wing. Here's Crowder. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. And the Mavericks lead by 5.
Great interplay there between those two teammates.
And we've watched 3 so far in this one. It's Dallas. They lead by 5. 2K Sports back in a moment here at Phillips Arena in Atlanta. And now a brief chance to view our State Farm assist of the game. It's 1 of 7 terrific assists on the night from Teague.
And what you love about his ability to pass the ball, Kevin, is that it just seems so natural to him, so fluid. He's always in control, understanding where his teammates are and anticipating passing angles.
The Hawks trail by 5. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the 4th quarter. On the floor for Dallas. Jefferson out there with Chandler Parsons. Then it's Ellis. Then it's Jameer Nelson. And it's Chandler in at the 5 down low. Shot clock at 6. Millsap passes to Carroll. The 15-footer. And he hits the jump shot. Carroll's got the 4th quarter started here with a bucket for the Hawks.
You know, tired legs can affect you at the defensive end, and I think that's what's happening right here.
I agree, because as much offense as we saw early, we're seeing even more of it here late.
Now here's Ellis. Nelson with it. Millsap with the steal. Here is Korver, defended by Jefferson. Millsap has the open look. He nails it. And we're tied up.
Well, nothing was going down for him in the first half, but since the break, he's been on target.
Nelson outside. Dishes to Ellis. Parsons sets a screen for Ellis. Jefferson has a wide open look. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot. Atlanta's gotten off 12 shots from beyond the arc tonight, hitting 7 of them. Carroll dishes to Schroeder. Feeds to Horford. Out of bounds, Dallas will take possession. And the Mavericks making a change here. Nowitzki's checked in.
Substitution for the Mavericks. Dirk Nowitzki.
Final quarter here, and we're just over a minute and a half through it. Nelson outside. Takes a 3. That's good. And the Mavericks lead by 3.
They've stepped up their three-point shooting game in the second half. They're letting it fly out there with reckless abandon.
Now they're feeling confident, and they're in a good flow offensively, so why not just keep firing from out there?
Here's Carroll. He kicks it to Korver. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Parsons outside. Nelson with it. He's picked up by Millsap. Ellis wide open. Horford with the rebound. Horford's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And with that, the Maverick lead is cut down to just 1 on the bucket from Carroll.
I tell you what, you don't want to allow too many of those kinds of baskets with the game on the line.
Now, this is when defenses have to protect the basket with everything they've got. Force the offense to shoot from the perimeter. He is just so good from that range, guys.
You know, never mind with the height advantage he had there.
And we're about 3 minutes into the 4th quarter. Here's Schroeder, and here's Korver from the arc. That's good. Korver's got it all tied up now for Atlanta.
He's too dangerous a shooter to leave alone behind the arc.
Nowitzki sets a screen for Nelson. Kicks it to Nowitzki. Good, and a nice assist from Nelson. Nelson's got his 8th assist in the game.
They'll be counting on even more points from him. That's essential if they're going to pull this game out.
Here's Schroeder. Outside Carroll. It's hauled in by Nowitzki. Nowitzki's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Now, here's Nelson. Shot clock at 6. There's the triple. Paul Millsap with the rebound. Millsap's got rebound number 8 now on the night. Schroeder kicks to Millsap. Schroeder passes to Horford. Hawks passing it around. And he gets the bucket. 14 points for Paul Millsap.
There's been a change in his game compared to what we saw in the first half. I mean, he's scoring with a lot of confidence now.
Over in the corner, Ellis. Back to Parsons. Over in the corner, Ellis. Chandler with a screen for Ellis. Rejected by Millsap. They retain possession. Out of bounds, Dallas takes possession. Teague is checked in for Dennis Schroeder. Dallas has gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter.
Boy, bad timing. Now is not the time to be giving him that shot.
Here is Korver. Pass to Teague. High post try. Again, the Hawks score.
Intelligent passing there to make that hoop possible.
The Mavericks have gone 4 of 8 in this 4th quarter, shooting at even 50% from the field. Ellis goes in. Rebound, Atlanta. Now Teague to take the lead. And Carroll gets it to go. Carroll's got 11 points here in just the second half.
And he has picked it up here in the second half, really lighting it up now.
Dallas calls timeout. Without question, Jeff Teague displaying his skills today.
He just continues to light them up. They're going to have to find a way to make him work harder for his points.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Rick Carlisle was going over with his team in that last huddle. He let his players know that they've got to do a better job on defense. He said they're scoring any way they want. We've got to show some pride here. Let's make a stand defensively, get us stops, and get on a run of our own. Do they have it in them, Kevin?
Well, I tell you what, it was the good pick that was set that turned him loose.
And once he got around it, Steve, it was smooth sailing right to the hole.
Well, because of the pick, he had plenty of room. That's why he was able to power down that slam.
Now here's Teague. The dish now to Korver. To the left wing. Elbow shot. And again, it's Atlanta.
Nice piece of work there. Find a little space and pull the trigger.
Nelson against Teague. Nowitzki gets a wide open look. Off target from three-point range. Atlanta's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Outside Teague. Over to the left wing. From outside the arc, it's rebounded by Dallas. Parsons got rebound number 5 here tonight. And here's Nelson. Nowitzki sets a screen for Nelson. Over in the corner, Ellis. Out to Nelson. From the arc. Rebound, Atlanta. Korver's got 4 rebounds in this game. Horford sets a screen for Teague. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Dirk Nowitzki picks up that one.
You know, to make the playoffs in the West, because it's so difficult out there, you've got to take advantage of your opportunities against the weaker East, and the Mavs did just that.
Most years, if you want in the Western Conference playoffs, you need 20 wins against the East. The Mavs met that mark last year.
Well, over the last decade, the team has been very good against teams from the East, save for a couple of hiccups here and there. Possibly because, being in the middle of the country, the road trips are not as difficult and as brutal for Dallas as the teams on the coast.
And so he hits both. Atlanta was a team that would end the year with a very strong record at home, as we saw, but Steve, you wouldn't expect that if you looked at their point differential here in this building.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of blowout wins for them here at home, but they were able to squeak out enough of the close ones to make it count.
Now here's Nowitzki. Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession. Atlanta leading by 4. Here is Korver. Carroll dishes to Korver. From 11 feet away, and he gets it to go.
And for Atlanta last season, they would end up with 24 wins here at home. 1 win less than what they did the previous year.
Now, here is Nelson. Parsons passes to Nelson. That's good.
The easiest way to do it sometimes is with the bounce pass.
Atlanta is shooting about 59% from the floor offensively. They've been running without a hitch.
Well, for Atlanta, their home record was solid, 24 wins. But if you want to avoid the big teams in the East in the first round, you've got to do better. You don't want to be in that 7 or 8 seed. You have to play the top teams in that Eastern Conference in the first round.
He's finding all kinds of ways to get it done. What a quarter he's having.
Out left to the wing. And a wide open look here for Ellis. And they come right back with their own three-pointer.
That's his first three-pointer of the half. Remember, he did make one in the first half as well.
Pass to Korver. Millsap a screen on Ellis. Korver kicks to T. This one for 3. Parsons with the rebound. Mavericks trail by 4. Nowitzki sets a screen for Ellis. He feeds it to Parsons. Shoots the 3. Good, and the assist goes to Ellis. Ellis has got 3 assists in the game.
Yeah, and that's his first 3 of the half. There may be more in store.
Here is Korver. Outside Millsap. The feed to Carroll. Teague a screen on Parsons. Just 5 on the clock. Carroll dishes to Teague. Chandler with the rebound. Chandler's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Now here's Nowitzki. Nelson, the pass to Nowitzki to take the lead. And yes, sir, that one drops. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back. Boy, right down to the wire here, Clark and Steve. Still anyone's ball game.
Both teams really invested now. I mean, this is the type of game you love to win, and you'd hate to lose it.
Boy, after all this energy that both teams have expended, yeah, you're right, Clark. This would be a tough one to lose.
Here's Teague. Pass to Korver. Back to Teague. Korver kicks to Millsap. The fadeaway. Good.
Well, he's having a great half here. Exactly the opposite of the first.
Dallas has gone beyond the arc 7 times here in the 4th and been successful 3 times. And there's the pass to Nowitzki. In the corner, Parsons with it. Ellis dishes to Nowitzki. And it's Dallas with another.
He has really punished these defenders today. No matter who's been on him, he's been giving them medicine.
Millsap sets the pick for Teague. 1:36 left to play here in the 4th. Carroll passes to Teague. Shot clock at 6. Connects in the foul line jumper. Teague's got 10 points here in the second half.
He's gone cold at the wrong time. Struggling to score here down the stretch.
And the Mavericks call time here. They trailed by 1. We've got 1:28 left in the 4th quarter. Wilson outside. He dishes it to Nowitzki. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Nowitzki playing very well. He's got 30 points and 3 denials.
Well, his offense has matched his defense today. He's been excellent on both ends.
Steve, exactly right. You can't say enough about the overall job he's been doing.
All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. Scoring breakdown for Atlanta.
And they keep piling up the assists. Great ball movement.
Well, you've also got to love how aggressively they've taken that ball to the basket and scored off dribble penetration.
And he ends up making the second, and that ties the game up.
Well, despite tying things up, he's still shaking his head, knowing he could have given them the lead.
Atlanta calls timeout. Here's Teague. To the left wing. Here's Millsap. That drops. Millsap's got 16 here in the second half.
That's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
Yeah, and until they do, the problems inside are only going to get worse.
Now here's Nowitzki. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Nowitzki's got 33 points.
Here in the deciding moment, and he's doing damage. 6 of 8 from the field, providing clutch scoring when it's needed most.
Teague gets to Corbin. Dishes to Millsap. Baseline jumper. Buries it.
Impeccable mechanics to this quarter. He's been perfect from the field.
Steve, what a big possession right here.
No doubt, guys. And you can feel the tension in this building.
The drive by Ellis. Goes back up. No luck. Good work defensively by Horford. Atlanta's gone beyond the arc 7 times here in the 4th and been successful 3 times. Millsap kicks to Carroll. Connects!
Oh, that is a massive shot.
You know it is. He's stepping right into the spotlight.
Dallas calls timeout. They're losing by 4. 23 seconds left in the 4th quarter of this one. What do you think, guys?
Well, the way to go here, you got to get a quick basket and then a foul. That's the only course of action at this point.
And it's key who they foul. Don't send an excellent free throw shooter to the line here.
Parsons for 3. It's good! And that shot brings them to within just 1.
Boy, he quieted the crowd with that big shot. That's a big play.
Yeah, the crowd's been hoping for something to cheer for, but nothing. Well, you do what you have to do to extend this game and try to get the ball back.
In this situation, clock management crucial.
And so they foul intentionally.
That's his second personal foul. 3rd team foul. Shooting foul. Amari Carroll. Team shots.
He hits the first one, and that will put them up by 2. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses.
Well, they're still within reach, but they need a hoop pretty much every time down the floor.
Well, they've got a little life, but they better execute every time.
Nowitzki, good.
Wow, he's got such a sweet three-point stroke. The way he can shoot it, forcing opposing bigs out on the perimeter, can really open up the lane.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. They're down by 1. 7 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
No need to rush things, although I think you do want to get a shot off in time to the point where if you miss it, you got a shot on the offensive rebound.
Well, if you got a play in your quiver that gets you a good shot, one you've been saving all game, now's the time to use it.
So it's a narrow victory for the Mavericks, pulling out the W. And Clark, you know, it was quite a nail biter.
Yeah, it was tight. Their guys were able to come up with big plays down the stretch, and that's the difference.
And now we send you down to Doris Burke courtside, who's with our Jordan Player of the Game. Doris?
Dirk, during that second half, what brought the conviction the team showed that allowed you guys to win this thing?
I think we just battled, and that was good for us. I thought that really won us the game down the stretch. We scrambled for each other, we rotated, got a couple lucky bounces down the stretch, and that always helped.
Dirk, thank you. Kevin, it all starts with that competitive spirit.
Thank you, Doris.